What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to the Uncommon Mindset podcast. Today, I'm joined by a very, very special guest. I'll just give you a brief background on who I'm joined by. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Cohin Kakar. I'll just give you a brief background. So, Dr. Cohin Kakar comes from a pharmaceutical background, working in medical affairs at Eli Lilly and Company and AbbVie. He currently is the Chief Marketing and Scientific Officer at the Anthos Group, which specializes in organic products that promote health and wellness, including cannabinoid-based products like CBD. Additionally, he serves on the editorial board for the American Journal of Endocannabinoid Medicine and on the medical panel for Cannabinoid Medicine Studies. Dr. Kakar is a published author in Cannabis Science and Oncology and serves as the Principal Investigator in clinical trials at various universities across the US for the Anthos Group. He has found a passion in cannabinoid science and translating the complex pharmacological data into understandable information for the general public in an effort to create and deliver safe and efficacious products that can be beneficial for populations with limited options. His team has been working with one of the biggest names in MMA. They co-founded TIDL Sports Hero product, the plant powder, the cryotherapy spray with MMA icon Conor McGregor. What an honor it is to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Murad, and I'm excited to be here.
No worries, Dr. Cohen. So like I always do, I always ask my guests, talk to me about your upbringing. What did that look like?
Absolutely. So I'm based here in the U.S. My parents were immigrants from India. So, that was definitely a learning experience. And my dad actually devoted his career to cancer research. And as a result of that, moved around a lot from different universities, academic institutions. So ended up growing up in the South, believe it or not, and it was great. It's a Southern hospitality here in the U.S. Back then was a real thing. It was very friendly, and everything I do today and kind of have been a part of is large in reason because of the guidance that my parents gave me. My dad being a scientist, my mom being in chemistry, that obviously helped us. And now my sister, she's a physician, I'm a pharmacologist. So we already were kind of pushed into science. We knew we would end up doing something in that realm. And in terms of the upbringing, they always challenged us to be the best we could academically and, try to carry that same mindset into anything we did, whether it be sports, arts, things like that, but always striving to be the best you can be because not everyone gets these opportunities.
Yeah, of course. No, of course. When did you actually join the Anthos Group then?
So it's a good question. Actually, to be honest with you, the Anthos Group was a result of a merger. So we actually had co-founded a company called Slingshot Health, which was in the medical space. As we decided to transition towards plant-powered products, we merged with a company that was really experts in the cultivation and agriculture of those types of ingredients. So that company was called Apex Biosciences. So when we merged Slingshot and Apex, we became the Anthos Group, and that took place in 2019.
Oh, I see. Yeah, perfect timing because then, things like cannabis and stuff like that became legalized, right? I believe it was in January the 1st in Chicago, it become, um,
Yeah, recreational, you're right. So in late 2018 is when the Farm Bill passed. The Farm Bill really opened up the floodgates for CBD, like you mentioned, and that hemp-based products. But now with marijuana, which is entirely different than hemp, you're right. A lot of states are now opening to recreational use, medical use, and maybe in the near future, the entire country will have some type of litigation around it. But right now, there are some states that are going a little slow.
of course, yeah. Where do you guys actually get your hemp from then? Do you guys create it yourselves?
We do. So that was part of the inspiration to merge with Apex Biosciences. They actually cultivate 200 acres of hemp farms in Eugene, Oregon. And it was interesting for us because, like I said, we were in the medical space, really working with doctors and healthcare providers around medical education on new trends in medicine, pharmacogenomics, personalized medicine.
Mm.
As we saw the opportunity, we knew that if we were going to take products to market, we had to control the entire supply chain. So that was one of the reasons we had to merge with Apex. So we could have that control on the agriculture. We knew we had the clinical science, the clinician staff to really put together great data and formulations, but we had to have that agricultural quality to meet that clinical data and then formulate and create end products that are useful for consumers.
Wow, that's amazing. I've got something you said here. I've written it down. I just want to say it back to you because I thought it was really powerful when you said this. You said it on a different podcast. You said when you are not promoting the product, you are promoting the education. And I believe that's so powerful in when you said that. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like it's amazing coming from that mindset for like marketing. Can you just talk to me about like how do you go ahead with your marketing style? Has your marketing style changed over the years, obviously because of technology and stuff like that?
Absolutely. And thank you for, first of all, listening to that. And it's something I get asked about a lot. And I think it comes from the nature of being trained as a pharmacist and pharmacologist, because, when we think pharmacist, we think of the person at the corner drugstore, right, that gives us our medicine. But when we're trained, actually what happens is you're taking a lot of complex clinical data, all the way from receptor activity, metabolism of the drugs, the enzymes that are used to metabolize these drugs, and translating that to your patients and your consumers on exactly what that means and how it affects them.
Mm.
So that's kind of where I learned that there's a beauty in educating effectively. And I think it can be so powerful that it can actually replace the typical marketing messages that we see, right? Buy this and this is what will happen. So when you educate the consumer and you give them the opportunity to relate with the product and see how it directly can benefit them or change the way they do things, hopefully in a positive manner, then you ultimately leave the buying decision on them. And that's going to be more powerful than you trying to convince them, because they've already been sold to. The consumer today, and I've written an article, I write for Entrepreneur Magazine as well. The consumer today is the smartest consumer we've ever seen. Yeah, and to your point, kind of about digital marketing and today's trends in marketing, right? They have access to Google. They have access to all these resources in the touch of a screen. And so you really need to supplement what they're looking for, which is education. They want to make informed purchases. And if you do dress that up in education as opposed to typical marketing messages, it definitely can be impactful. Now, for the second part of your questions, absolutely. Everything has changed, not only in general, but after the year that we're still going through, right, with the pandemic. The marketing has changed. I mean, it's no more your typical, even what we call out of home marketing, right? Billboards, buses, things like that. While that's still effective, everything's moved towards digital. What kind of metrics are we tracking? What kind of analytics are we getting? What are we investing towards to make sure that we're getting that return on investment? Because it's not cheap. It's not cheap. You can have great data, content, education, but you have to get it in the right visibility channels so that the target consumer can access your products.
No, of course. And this touches great on what I'm going to go on to next. Obviously, you guys have started the brand TIDL. You're obviously wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of positive reviews on it. I definitely need to get my hands on it as well, because
Sure.
it looks like something like amazing. And with having Conor McGregor on board, that is a different ball game, right? The guy is like an icon in mixed martial arts, and I love mixed martial arts myself. I
Oh,
train mixed
nice.
martial arts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I love it so much. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is incredible what you guys are doing. Talk to
Thank
me
you.
about, how did you guys get Conor McGregor on board? Are you allowed to say that?
Absolutely. No. First of all, he's been a fantastic partner. He's very leaned in, and we feel very fortunate to have someone like him. You're talking about one of the top athletes in the world who can give you real-time feedback. What's good about this product? What's bad about this product? So really having that connection has been great for us. So like you mentioned, we actually started specifically in the CBD space. We have a line, I should say, called CytoCX. CytoCX has really done well in the pain space. Pain clinics all over the country have our product. Patients that deal with all types of pain, chronic pain, back pain, joint pain, nerve pain, sciatica, they're seeing great results with CytoCX. So CytoCX really has done what we went out to do, is create a medical grade product that actually works and people feel safe taking, again, with no side effects and organic in nature. We were lucky and fortunate to connect with Paradigm Sports, which is Conor McGregor's management agency. So that relationship, just natural fit. Adi Attar is the CEO and founder there. He fit really with our philosophy, really saw, the passion and believed in what we were doing. And as a result, we were able to get that initial Cyto product into Conor's hands. And this was in early 2020. And he ended up liking it. He really liked it. He had good reviews. And it was just that snippet that really inspired us all of a sudden. We said, wow, that kind of feedback, we're fortunate to get. And we knew all of a sudden, looking at the clinical data and anecdotal data that we had from Cyto, we said, you know what, we can create something for the athlete specifically. Take that same plant-based therapy, combine it with exercise and fitness science, and then you have a product that meets the best of both worlds. So that's what inspired the creation of TIDL Sport. Of course, Conor tried the product and loved it, and we got off to a great start. And now we're fortunate to welcome him as a co-founder of the brand and the company, and excited to see where this journey takes us.
Yeah, no, of course. And the amazing thing about this product is it's not like anyone can use it, right? Not just like sport athletes as well, because a lot of people, like, even my parents, they have a lot of pain and stuff like that. And I think what's unique about this product is the cryotherapy part. Sorry. Sorry. I've been in cryo chambers. In my MMA gym, we actually have a cryo chamber.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been in one. It was like minus 100 and something degrees, and I was like, but when I came out, it was amazing. I felt like a new person, and I think this product, that's one of the biggest differentiating aspects of it, right? How did you guys come about that? Do you know?
Absolutely. So to answer the first part of your question, you're right. We made this product line with the fitness enthusiast and athlete in mind, but there's kind of a trickle effect where if it works for these people who train their bodies heavily every single day, it's absolutely going to work for the community people that work out once in a while or go on walks or have, like you mentioned, some chronic pain. And we feel confident behind it because, like I said, with Cyto, we got a lot of data behind different types of pain. And those same ingredients, those same blends are what's going into this product, but we're infusing it with exercise science, which is a great segue to your point about cryotherapy. Now, when we hear cryotherapy, what do we think of? Exactly what you mentioned, the cryo chamber, ice baths, cold compression. Now, this cryotherapy isn't that typical cryotherapy. What happens in those cold compression and ice baths and the chambers is that an actual cold force is applied to your body, reducing the blood flow and thereby reducing inflammation, which leads to, like you said, your body feeling better. We've kind of used a similar approach without the cold compression. Our product, our flagship product, the hemp-powered cryotherapy spray here, we've blended some plant-based ingredients along with menthol that we call topical cryotherapy. And what happens is once you spray this product on your body, the same receptors that the standard cryotherapy activates, they're called TRPM8 receptors. These ingredients actually activate those receptors. And as a result, it tells our body, hey, I'm cold right now. Whatever area you put it on, my arm is cold, my knee is cold. And as a result, since there's no cold compression slowing the blood flow down, our body actually rushes blood to the site to warm it back up, to promote healing. And what happens is with that increased blood flow, absorption gets increased. So that's when the plant-based ingredients really kick into action. So all the way from CBD to arnica to turmeric, all the ingredients that we have in our formulation get absorbed quickly, and they're really hitting the inflammation, what we call inflammatory cells or cytokines. And that's where the recovery happens. So there's a lot of products out there that give you a warm sensation or a cold sensation similar to ours, and they wear off in about 2 or 3 hours. So those plant-based ingredients and that blend that we have in our formulation that actually targets the inflammation, that's what leads to that long-term recovery. So your relief actually lasts a little longer. Number one, you're promoting healing, you're promoting recovery. And obviously most everyone we surveyed and talked to in fitness and athletes, they want to get back in the gym as soon as possible, right? They want to be ready. I'm sure with your training, you probably want to go back another session, but you have to listen to your body. So these products are helping you naturally heal and get back to what you do best as soon as possible in a safe and effective manner.
Yeah, no, I think, recovery is definitely one of the most important aspects in any sports, right? And even LeBron James, like he said that he spends $1 million every year on recovery, and that just shows how important recovery is, right? And the product that you guys have, it's a spray product, right? So you're spraying CBD basically on the body. Is that the best way to actually apply CBD? Because a lot of people, like, they either chew, or there's different ways to apply CBD right into the product, into the body.
Yeah, and that's an excellent question, and it's something that's discussed a lot. Now, what we've learned about CBD and the endocannabinoid system, which is a long-winded lesson, we could do a whole other episode on just that. But we do see that, the CBD has a holistic effect, right? We have pain patients all the time that take CBD for a certain pain, but all of a sudden they're sleeping better. All of a sudden they have less stress, so it is that kind of holistic healing. So to that extent, CBD is more effective when ingested, either sublingually, or there's water soluble capsules. Topically, it's effective when, depending on what you're targeting. If you're targeting joint pain or a certain muscle pain, it's effective. But for that holistic healing, that ingestible CBD does well. It is important to always qualify your source. You want to make sure you're going with a company that has data, has the certificate of analysis that can tell you how the product was formulated. And then also it's important to know absorption rates. So, all the popular gummies and food items and edibles of CBD, for the most part, they actually have a less than 10% absorption rate. So it's important to remember that not everything is, if you see 25 milligrams on the label, that doesn't mean you're getting the full 25. That's why sublingual oils have taken off. You take them under the tongue, and we get about a 35% absorption there, 30 to 35, depending on the brand you're using. And then now we're seeing a huge influx of water soluble CBD. That actually has a lot of data, again, qualifying your source, where it's showing 4x absorption in the intestine. So, you really have to qualify your source. It depends on what you're looking for. Of course, me being in the industry, I have my parents on it. I have my family on it, just taking the daily as a daily supplement, because where I've seen the most effective data on CBD is targeting inflammation throughout the body. And as you probably know, inflammation is the foundation of many disease states beyond just pain. Autoimmune diseases like Crohn's, colitis, psoriasis, arthritis, all start with that inflammation. So if you can add CBD in a safe manner and take it every day ingested, you're going to lead to better health and wellness outcomes in the long run.
No, of course. It's obviously, this is the start, right, of TIDL, a spray. What's the goals for TIDL then? Is there like any other products you'll be bringing out, or what, do you know what the goals are?
Yeah, we're very excited to really, we've created TIDL to be more than just a product or even just a segment. We want to be a part of the entire athlete journey. There's a lot of segments of wellness in the athlete's journey. That's not just around the training. So right now we do have the topical spray, which more falls in the recovery, post-workout recovery. We do have a joint cream, which we're calling a performance cream, coming out soon in the next probably month or so, which is specifically formulated for joints, after training, and you do some sparring, I'm sure, that grappling and stuff, the knuckles, all that kind of stuff. But we are developing a pipeline where we're also going beyond just the training. So you're talking about pre-workout, all the way from the energy and focus component to also the out of gym experience. How are you sleeping at night? So supplements that actually help the athlete sleep and recharge. And also there's a huge movement towards what we're seeing in percussion therapy, right? Theragun, hyperice. So that type of recovery, what are some formulations that can supplement that percussion therapy and really not only loosen up the muscles and provide some recovery, but also enhance it, right? We've come up with some formulations that increase ATP output from the cellular standpoint. So really cool formulations in the pipeline that we can continue to develop that journey with the athlete, regardless of what their exercise or fitness regimen is, but really catering to as many people as we can.
That's incredible. That's amazing. And when you were just mentioning there, with the massage gun, because I've one myself, what would be really cool, to bring out like an oil that you can put on, and then you can use the massage gun, and you're killing two birds with one stone there, right? So yeah, that's
Yeah, I can't say too much, but you're right on track. We'll have something for you soon.
Oh, it's incredible. I'm so excited, honestly. And the funny thing is, this is like the beginning of, something huge. Because I know you guys, it's not just Conor McGregor you work with, right? There's NBA players, there's NFL players, there's so many people who are on board, and you guys are actually taking, the feedback from what they're saying, right? As well as educating them, they're educating you as well. And I think
100%.
this is why I think this is going to blow up. I really think.
Well, no, thank you for that feedback. And again, going back to how important education is, and within education falls feedback from the market. I mean, when I talk to my team, yes, the message that we take out to the field is very important. We want to educate, we want to sell, right? But what's even more important than that to me is the information they bring back. What did this athlete say? What did this coach say? What did this fighter say? Because that's what helps us come up with that next wave, or that even helps us improve the current product based on some small tweaks. There's always room to improve no matter what you're doing. So it's important to take that feedback and really, again, meet your target clientele in their workflow. Don't pull them too far out. If someone tells us, if a football player tells us, hey, I need something specifically for my Achilles, right? It's always sore after running. Why wouldn't we do that? We know the science, we know the pharmacology. We can definitely formulate something for that. And that's kind of the central kind of core teaching I really preach on, is that, TIDL is a sexy brand. You're right. We have some great athletes, and, everything, it's been received really well, and we're very thankful and fortunate for that. But what I always have to preach to my team is that the product has to be effective. It has to work. And I have to be able to, from a scientific standpoint, sign off on this and say, hey, okay, we have enough data to show that this will help in this. And that's how you're going to create a long-term relationship with your consumers and build that community. And we have a great community that's being formed, and we get inspiring messages every single day about how our products are really helping people achieve their goals.
Yeah, no, 100%. And what you said there was actually amazing, because let's say, for example, if a football player comes back and says, oh, my Achilles hurts, I need to do something about that. It's not just that person. There's going to be millions of other people that are going to have the same injury, right? So
Yep.
yeah, it's definitely important to take on feedback. And I think
100%.
that's definitely going to help the growth of the company.
Thank you.
Regarding yourself then, Dr. Cohin, what are your goals? Have you set yourself goals, like in life or anything like that?
Yeah, loaded question. It's funny, as when you asked about my upbringing, and as we go through school, we discover new opportunities. My goal always was to get into the pharmaceutical business, get into big pharma, which I was fortunate to do, like you mentioned, with Eli Lilly, with AbbVie, some global companies, and be a part of huge drug launches that have really served millions around the world. And, I know big pharma has a certain stigma around the world, especially here in the US, but inside of those walls are people that really care. They've devoted their careers to formulating things that go help people. And it's amazing to see when it comes to fruition. So my goal was always to be a part of that, to do work that really had a global impact. And I was very fortunate to have that experience. And I think this kind of comes into kind of an entrepreneurial conversation, where any entrepreneur you talk to, they've always had an itch. They've always had something inside, like, I wonder if I went out and did something on my own. And I tell you, it's just by the grace of the universe that I got this opportunity. Our Slingshot, like I mentioned to you, was founded by our CEO, Badal Shah. And he asked me to come on board. We were kind of formulating the beginning stages together. And I took that pharmaceutical experience that was always my goal, and then parlayed it into this startup, and really applying that experience. So the goal was really to get this business off the ground, create brands that help consumers. And I think we're slowly getting there. So that would be the short-term goal, is to really continue to grow our brands and bring innovative wellness to different segments all over the world. And beyond that, it's hard to say. One thing I can tell you is every time you have a plan, you're pretty much setting yourself up for a surprise. So right now, the focus is just growing this business, learning more about our consumers, how we can continue to bring better products to them. I do have a wife and 2 boys, so a huge goal of mine is raising them the right way and setting them up for success as well, and taking it a day at a time from there.
No, it's incredible. Yeah, I think when you provide value for other people, your life becomes so much better because you're helping other people, right? And I think this product is definitely something that does provide value for other people, right? Because when someone's injured, all they want to do is recover,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
this is incredible for it. No, yeah.
And it's beyond the injury too, right? If you being an athlete, this firsthand. You're not going to have as great of a workout the next day if you're sore or you're a little slow, right? So it's products like these that we're trying to formulate that will get you back to being 100% every single day, because that's what really elevates you to the next level. We work with a performance coach, Jamal Ligon. He's been fantastic. He works with professional athletes all over the world, and that's why he's so into our product, is because he can see his clients come in on Monday and they're just as sharp on Tuesday, just as sharp on Wednesday, because they're recovering and letting their body heal the right way.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm so on board about products like this. Like I myself, every morning I drink these greens and these reds. I
Oh,
mix it
cool.
up, and it's from BPN, Bear Performance Nutrition, and I
Okay,
drink
cool, cool.
yeah, and I feel amazing just from drinking them. There's so many benefits to products like this, and
Yeah.
yeah, no, honestly, like you are definitely someone who's uncommon, and it's just incredible to talk to you and get everything, because when someone sees the brand TIDL, it's always good to know what goes on behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the kind words. And one thing I can always promise you is, like I said, the brand is appealing. The athletes, of course, are appealing. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of research and development. We're making sure the science is sound and the quality is high. And we want to continue to build this journey for all of our consumers and the community within.
Yeah, no, of course. No, yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Cohen. I really appreciate your time. What I'll do as well, guys, I'll leave all of the social media down below. You can go and check out Dr. Cohen. I'll leave the website down below as well, so people can go and check out the product. And I know Conor McGregor's got a fight coming up as well. So
yeah, as of today, finally everything got finalized. So we're excited. It's going to be an exciting 90 days here in front of us.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%. Just one last question now I need to ask you before I let you go. I asked this to all my guests, and it's really interesting what the answers are. So if you could go back in time, if there's one thing you would tell yourself, what would that be?
The number one thing I would tell myself is don't be afraid. I feel like growing up, we always are so worried about, are we good enough? What do people think? Can we really achieve what we want to, right? And I think when the day comes where you realize there's no chains holding you back, and you realize that you're good at what you do. You find something you're passionate about, you're naturally going to be good at it. So don't be afraid to be great. And I know that sounds cliche, but until you've gone through it, you don't understand how valuable that is. And it's really, it ties back to just being confident in yourself, investing in your craft. Once you find something you like and you're passionate about it, invest yourself. Make sure you become an expert at it. So that way, once the opportunity, did I lose you?
Yeah, sorry. I lost you an opportunity.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So what I said is that, don't be afraid to be great, because these opportunities are so few and far between.
No, incredible, honestly. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I'll once I definitely purchase the product, I'll try it myself. I'll give you an honest review on it as well.
Yeah, sure. No, send me your info. We'll get some product out to you. No problem at all. And if you want a code for your listeners, we can do that too as well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Okay.
That's cool.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you. It
Enjoy
was
the
a
rest of
pleasure.
your day, right? Take it easy.
Take care. Bye-bye.